78.6 FM Yomaton, positive vibes with Winsome. It is another one of those Saturdays, which is the perfect people for positive vibes Saturday. I got me and my big brother, Mr. G, Mr. Scott Garricky. Mr. G, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Let me turn you up a little bit. Say that again.
Yes, I'm doing well.
Let's go. Mr. G, how was your Saturday, big brother?
It's doing very well, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I started out with a nice stretch.
Okay.
I got stretched this morning.
Got stretched out.
Yep, and then just preparing for this. So
That's what's up.
Yeah, my
Hey,
wife went out diving, and so
I was gonna
she
ask
was
about
in the
that.
water.
Yeah.
But you were in the water too, I hear.
Not like that. You know, I'm trying to get to the level where, so Big Sis and Big Brother, they scuba, as we've mentioned before, and I'm trying to get to that point of getting the certification. But we talk about action steps, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing is I talked to the gentleman, and the first thing he said was I got to learn how to float.
Yes. You gotta float.
I sink to the bottom of the water like a rock.
Because you're so muscular.
No, it's old man fat. Don't let him lie to y'all. So I sink to the bottom. But, right now in my mind now, so think about it. And I was teaching a class, big brother, during the weekend. I said, you know what? I'm reverse engineering it now.
Yeah.
So you guys gave me the roadmap, right?
Yeah.
The certification's right here at the finish line. In order to get there, the first step is I got to learn how to float.
Float. Yes,
Then
indeed.
Swimming 200 meters, right? Am I tracking that right?
That's right.
The best part about it is, understanding it's not you have to swim perfectly Olympic style. I just got to get there.
You got to get there.
I just got to persevere.
That's all it is. You got to persevere.
Let's go. Me and my big brother, what are we talking about today?
Yes, that's a great lead in. And as always, you do a masterful job.
Thank you.
It is it's about perseverance today.
Okay.
Perseverance.
Okay. Tell us about perseverance, Mr. G.
Well,
What's
first thing
going on?
I want to do is I want to ask you, hey, what do you think your definition of perseverance is?
I think that's just like that is the ability to push through even when there's obstacles in your way.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I like this video with this police officer. There's a wall, and he has to figure out, am I going to go over the wall, around the wall, through the wall?
Mm-hmm.
So he does every move, and it was so cool. But at the end of the day, he got beyond the wall. So he did everything he needed to do, and I could always use athletes as examples, but perseverance and persistence, I think are really clutch, or should I say key, when people are trying to move forward in those obstacles.
Now, you bring up a good point there. You just mentioned perseverance, and then you said persistence.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about persistence, because what I'm going to do is after we get your definition of persistence,
Yes.
we're going to talk about what the difference is between those. And there is
Nice.
a difference. There's a major important distinction.
I got to get my seat ready for
Yes,
this. Hold on,
indeed.
okay.
So go ahead. What is your definition of persistence?
Persistence is to keep going, to keep trying, to keep engaging, to not quit.
That's right.
Right.
That's
And
right.
when I think in my mind of those folks who they hit that first obstacle and they just don't even want to put the effort into it.
Yep.
So I heard something. I'll wait. I got something for you. Yes, sir. Yeah, but that's
Well, I
what
was
I
just
think.
going to say, you probably been reading my notes because because you nailed it.
Hey,
you nailed it, brother.
I had the cliff notes.
So Webster says
Yeah.
that to persist is to continue an opinion or a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition.
Nice.
Okay? Now, the Latin per means thoroughly or steadfastly.
Okay.
Okay? Sist or sista means to stand. Okay? So, in other words, you are going to stand steadfastly.
Let's go.
Okay? In spite of that difficulty that you're encountering.
Let's go.
Okay? So, difficulty.
Okay.
Now, to persevere,
Yeah.
it means to continue in a course of action, just like the persistence did.
Yep.
Even in the face of difficulty, just
Okay.
like it did. But here's the important distinction.
Oh, the key. Uh-huh.
Or with the little or no indication of success.
Let's go.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so what it is from the Latin, again, per,
Yep.
thoroughly or steadfastly.
Yep.
Severus.
Okay.
Severus means severe. So it is thoroughly severe. Okay? That's what it really means. And it's a step beyond persistence.
Okay.
Because not just is it difficult or something that's hard to do,
Right.
but there's little or no chance of success. That's perseverance.
Okay.
Okay? So you go beyond that. And let me tell you, here's an example of it.
Got you.
Thomas Edison.
Yep.
Really famous guy, obviously. Some people
Who's-
may have
who's
heard of him. But did you know that when he was growing up, his teachers They said he was too stupid to learn anything.
Wow.
You know that? He was fired from his first 2 jobs for being non-productive.
Wow.
I was like, oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
So later, when he was inventing the incandescent light bulb, you know, he tried 1,000 different ways.
That's right.
Okay? And so when a reporter asked him, hey, how does it feel to fail 1,000 times? He said, you know what he said?
What'd he say?
He said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. Okay? 1,000 steps. So
like
do you
that.
see the difference there?
That's it.
You know, the difference there is that he persisted in making the light bulb.
Yep.
Okay? And other inventions, which we'll talk about in a second. But he persevered
There it is.
under his teacher's taunts and labels.
Yep.
Under the reporter who was saying, and other people that say, yo, you're going to fail, dude.
Right.
You're not going to make it. You're never going to do anything. So he persevered over that. And over the course of his 84 years on this earth, he had 1,093 patents, jointly or singularly, that he invented.
That's crazy.
He persevered and was able to overcome.
So he was persistent in making sure that he met his goal of creating a light bulb, right?
That's right.
What is it now? And I know people get that mixed up sometimes. So what is it that Thomas Edison actually created?
He created lots of different things.
Right.
Incandescent light bulb. He created a turntable, a phonograph.
Got you. The phonograph. Yeah. So some people get it mixed, right? They say they give credit to other creators when it was actually him who actually created the idea or the concept, and so others grew upon his concepts, right?
Exactly.
So 1,000 different ways, 1,000 different steps to get to his goal, but he kept persisting to get there, and he persevered in despite of everyone who doubted him.
Everybody doubted him, saying, you can't do it. What are you? You're stupid.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
So he persevered under that.
Okay.
So what do you think motivates people to persevere, to just go against all odds and press forward?
I was going to tell you this earlier when we were going over the Cliff Notes. I'll call them Cliff Notes because we get like a brief couple of minutes to go over the topic, right?
It.
But I heard something this morning. It was awesome. I was in the gym. I don't work out, guys. I just go to the gym and walk around. Now, I'm in the gym, and the story went something like this. There was a gentleman who ran the 4-minute mile.
Yes.
And apparently, the 4-minute mile was unheard of. No one believed that anyone could ever do the 4-minute mile. Your heart would explode. Your lungs can't take it. You'd pass out. So nobody ever tried. But there was one man, right?
That's right.
That got out there and said, I'm going to do the 4-minute mile. He believed that he can do it. And then the story continued to say that after he did that, within 2 months of him doing it, other people started doing the 4-minute mile. So so to answer your question, what do I think motivates? I think the key there is belief.
Yes.
That you can.
Yes.
In his situation or circumstance, he believed that he can do it despite, and it wasn't nobody else has done it before. I don't think, no, I'm going to do a 4-minute mile.
Yes.
And once others believed in themselves, then they started putting the effort into it and trying and attempting it. And that's where I think is the key ingredient, belief.
That is absolutely true, brother.
Nice.
Yes, it does.
Nice.
You know, that dream that you have of breaking that 4-minute mile.
Yep.
You have to believe it yourself.
Right.
You know, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay, guys. See, I got ahead. That story was awesome.
It was great. That was awesome. That was really, really
awesome.
Good.
I heard it this morning. It was awesome to me, man. It motivated me. I was like, I didn't think of things like that. How important belief is, that key ingredient in whatever we do. And when they put it in that context, I was like, wow, that's awesome. All right, sorry.
Nobody had ever
Perfect
done it
timing.
before. So, yeah, it's good.
I tell Mr. G, we can't make this stuff up. These are random tracks playing, and I'm like, wait a minute, skirt. We're talking about something similar to this tonight. That's awesome.
Indeed.
All right, big brother.
Okay, so now, after we talk about these things, and just like the 4-minute mile, just like Thomas Edison, what do you think holds people back from persevering to achieve their dream or their goal?
I think it's just the counter. I think it's doubt, self-doubt, listening to the naysayers or folks who are doubting them and feeding into that energy. I think that's probably what holds most folks back is they don't want to even put the effort in if they don't believe that they can.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true, brother. Their belief, they don't even get off the starting block.
Right.
Okay. If they don't, other people can believe them believe in them all they want.
Right.
But if that person doesn't believe, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
They're not going anywhere. Another thing that people really, really have a hard time with is fear. Fear of failure.
Yep.
You know, that fear of people saying, you know, what if I fail?
Right.
You know, what will people think of me? You know?
They say fear has killed more men than any war in history, right?
That's right.
That's crazy.
Fear
man.
of failure, embarrassment,
More men's
bankruptcy.
dreams. I had to get that quote right. Fear has killed more dreams than war has killed men.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
That's true.
There it is.
Exactly.
I had to get it right. It sounded weird the first time.
You got it right. So, but it's embarrassment, it's bankruptcy, it's wasting other people's times.
Yep.
You know, people are afraid of loss of reputation. You know, whatever it is.
Right.
It's fear of failure. And that's where people just say, you know, I give up. I'm not even going to try it because I don't want to fail.
Wow.
And that kills so many dreams, brother.
I believe it.
You know, Confucius says, our greatest glory is not in falling, but in but in rising every time we fall. Okay? And I just got to relay this. MLK's dad.
Yep.
You know, we talk a lot about MLK Jr. a lot,
Yes,
but
sir.
this one's about his dad.
Okay.
And he said one time he said to him, Champ, the measure of a man is not how often he is knocked down, but how quickly he gets up.
Say it again.
Yes, that's not measure of a man is not how often he gets knocked down, but how quickly he gets up.
I love that.
Yep.
So you've heard months ago, right? I watched that movie Creed.
Yes, Creed.
Creed
Great
part
movie.
1 and part 2. So Adonis, I always mess his name up before when I talk about him. I call him Apollo. Yes, his dad. Speaking of dads, right? Adonis gets knocked down, and there's this one shot in the movie where you can hear his ribs crack, if I'm not mistaken. And he makes he's writhing over in pain, and then you can see how time's kind of standing still as the rev slows down, as the rev's going 1. And I think about that moment all the time, like when we go through things in life, big brother, like we always get knocked out. Life is conditioned to swing, right?
Yes, indeed.
And it's how we take those hits and how we recover from them, which I think is so important. And going along with Martin Luther King's father said, it's important to not only get back up, but get back up stronger.
Yes.
Taller.
Yes.
And remember, life's not going to be able to hit me the same way again because now I know where it's swinging from. And I love that. So I always connect that when I think about, falling and getting back up, standing, falling off the bike, falling off the skateboard. Those are, yes.
That's exactly right. And brother, falling, making mistakes, and failing, those are all things that we learn from in our lives, right? There's this thing called the Joint Lessons Learned program in the military.
Joint Lessons Learned.
Yeah, Joint Lessons Learned program. It's all indoctrinated in the DoD.
Nice.
And basically, people can write in and document lessons from combat or logistics or anything that happened in a deployment or something downrange, something like that. They can write in about it and they can document it and they can call it a lesson learned.
Okay.
But here's the important thing. If you record the lesson, but you never implement it, you know what they call that?
What's that?
It's not a lesson learned. It's a lesson observed. It's a lesson observed.
A big difference.
Because you didn't implement it.
Big difference. I see what happened. I saw the movie. I just don't know what happened in the movie. I didn't really pay attention. So
exactly.
You're observing a lesson, but if you're not paying attention and learning from it, it's just a waste of experience.
Exactly.
Let's go, Mr. G.
That's all it's
You see how he always tries to burn up the mic before we go to our break? He does this every time. Hey, so joint lessons learned. If you're copying down lessons, if you're not learning from it, you're just observing it. It's just a waste of experience.
That's it.
Waste
of time.
When you fall, it's not about falling. It's how fast you get back up. It's how strong you are when you get back up.
There you go.
What you learn from the fall.
Man,
Mr. G, don't be burning up the mic. Let's go, man. Let's go.
You've got to persist in your perseverance to achieve your goals.
That's it. What are we talking about when we come back from the baby?
All right. So what we're going to talk about is a little bit of reframing.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about going for your dreams.
Let's go.
Okay.
Hey, listen to everybody. 78.6 FM Yomatan, positive vibes at Winsome. I'm here again with my big brother, Mr. G. We're talking about perseverance and how to survive through life and be persistent and be perseverant. Or what's the word? How do I use that? To persevere.
To persevere.
And to be persistent.
Yes.
78.6 FM Yomatan, positive vibes with Winsome. We will be back right after this break to talk about reframe.
Yes.
See you in a minute. 78.6 FM Yomatan, positive vibes with Winsome. If you weren't tuned in, I was here with my big brother, Mr. Garricky. Scott Garricky is here again. Today we're talking about perseverance, persistence, getting up stronger than you fell.
You got it.
Or should I say learning from the fall.
Learning.
And getting up better than before.
That's it. He getting stronger.
He always burns up the mic before the breaks. Mr. G, what else is going on,
well,
man?
I'll tell you what, it just really engages me when I get with you because you energize the heck out of me.
Let's go.
It's awesome. I love it.
Let's go.
So recently, I was told that you had actually talked a little bit about reframing.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you know that concept really well, and I want you to apply it to how it relates to failure.
Okay.
How can you reframe it and talk about reframing and how it relates to failure?
Understood. So basically, my understanding would be if I fail, I'm falling, I'm going through a situation, had a horrible day, being able to take the information, the situation, and look at it from a different perspective. You said it a minute ago about failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the way that if it was me trying to practice reframe, I would say it's not failure until I quit.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Yes, sir. There was a lesson in that situation. There's something I could have pulled away from it. So it's finding the story, and you mentioned it a little bit ago. That's why I was like burning up the mic before you left, man. I was crazy. But when you stand back up, when you get up, say you had a horrible day, horrible week, you took all those punches from life. What did you learn?
Yes.
And if you can pull the lessons away from it, then then you're successfully practicing reframing because you're taking a different perspective from many people will just say it was a bad day.
That's right.
All right, big brother.
Exactly. No, I'm gonna just go after that definition that you said again. When you give up, that's when you fail.
That's right.
If you're not giving up, you haven't failed.
That's it.
Okay, brother. You persist and you persevere against it. So let me tell you a little bit about what Michael Jordan did. Now,
wait a minute. You
know
how I get about Michael Jordan. Y'all know how I get.
Yes.
All right. What happened?
So I believe that he's one of the best, if not the best, basketball player in the world.
We get him on 5 Sundays a week, 5 Saturdays a week. There's only 4, but we don't get him on.
But did you know that he was cut from his high school basketball team?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that he also went on to say that he has missed over 9,000 shots in his career, and that he's lost almost 300 games, and 26 times he was trusted with the ball. The team threw the ball to him, and he was going to take that game-winning shot, and he missed it.
26 times.
26 times he missed it. He failed over and over and over again.
I wish Mr. G could see me smiling and cheesing behind the mask because I love Michael Jordan stories. Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Yes. And he said, I failed over and over again in my life. Yes. That's the reason why I succeed.
Let's go.
Yes. That's the reason why. He failed a lot of times, but he got back out on that court.
MJ, why are you successful? Because I failed.
That's it.
What?
How can you be successful if you fail?
Let's go.
Yes. So he persevered. He got back out on that court. And he kept going. So John Maxwell says that talent, like Michael Jordan has, talent provides hope for accomplishment. But perseverance guarantees it. So MJ was talented out the yin yang, but if he didn't persist, if he thought about all those shots that he missed, he wouldn't have guaranteed his success.
Can I give you a different perspective?
Go ahead.
We're talking about reframing.
Go ahead.
Y'all know I love MJ. I love MJ. So my man also persevered. Remember how many playoffs he didn't make? How many championship games in the first 6 years, I believe it was? And then suddenly his coach is like, hey, you can score 63 points every game.
Yeah.
You can take your team to the playoffs, but you need a team around you to be able to help you get to the next level. You can't do it by yourself. I'm getting into Mr. G's later.
He is definitely hitting on everything that I'm going to say.
Reframe.
That's awesome.
Reframe.
Awesome.
You can't do it by yourself.
Cannot do it by yourself.
I don't want to get ahead, Mr. G, because I know he's going to talk a little some of this.
That's it.
But he had to get his ego out the way.
That's it.
All right, big brother.
So all I was just going to say to wrap that little section about reframing up is that Steve Maraboli, he's an author and life-changing speaker.
Nice.
He said that don't confuse poor decision-making with your destiny. Own your mistakes.
Yes,
Own them. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Right.
Learn from them so that you can be empowered by them. Okay, that's the only way you can do it, and implement them so that they're not lessons observed.
There it
okay,
is.
they're lessons learned.
Lessons learned. Yes, sir.
Okay, so next part is how do we overcome and persist against our fears in order to pursue our dreams?
Okay.
You mentioned it before.
Mm-hmm.
We must believe in ourselves.
Belief.
Belief.
Mm-hmm.
Belief that this thing is actual. It can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Others can believe all they want.
Mm-hmm.
I can believe that you can be, an astronaut. Oh, no. I can believe that you're going to be a scuba diver.
Let's go.
Okay? You're going to be a scuba diver.
Right.
You're going to get that certification.
Let's go.
I can believe that.
Right.
But if you don't believe it,
It's
it
waste
ain't
the energy.
happening.
Waste the energy.
Waste energy.
And I have to be motivated enough to, look, I'm going
There
down.
you go. You're talking.
We're about to burn these mics up.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's go back.
Okay. So talking about dreams,
Yes.
okay? Let's talk about Les Brown. Les Brown was given a speech in 2013 in the
Okay.
Georgia Dome.
Yep.
And the title of the speech is "It's Not Over Until You Win."
It's not over till you win.
It's not over. So he said, "I applaud you for dreaming, for running toward your dreams. I applaud you for believing in yourself, because that's what it's going to take. That's what life is all about: stretching and challenging, looking for ways that you can improve yourself."
Gotcha.
Looking for ways. And he just told his audience later on. He said, "No matter how bad it is,
Right.
no matter how bad it gets, say to yourself, I'm going to make it.
That's it.
I'm going to make it. You're going to make it in the water.
I'm gonna get out
You're
there
going to get
and
under there.
I'm going to learn how to float.
You're going to get 150 feet down. You're going to go, how the heck did I get here?
You talk about all the greats. Les Brown. You got, what's my man's name? Eric Thomas.
Yes.
You have, what's the one that runs with his shirt off all the time? He's always talking to people, motivating.
Oh.
I forget his name. Groggins.
Okay.
Shoot, I forget his first name. Forgive me. Listen. David Groggins, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But the one thing I pull from all of them is where I derive that energy from. And I love this message because no matter what I've gone through in my life, big brother, I've always said to myself, I am, I can, and I will.
There you go.
And I think when we say what Les Brown was mentioning there, those three words, if his audience remembers that, right,
Mm-hmm.
and takes that home with them, you are good enough. You can accomplish whatever you set your mind to, and you will achieve your goals. Those three, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what, I hold those close.
Are, can, and will.
Let's go.
There you go. Now
Let's
you're
go.
talking. So just like I have a friend of mine. His
Mhm.
name is Tatsumi-san.
Let's go.
He was working.
Hi,
he,
Tatsumi-san. Mhm.
he worked down at the Okinawa Energy Orthopedic Clinic and Osteopathic Clinic, and but he had a dream.
Mm.
He had a dream of opening his own clinic,
Wow.
running his own clinic.
Okay.
Okay, so he ended up leaving Okinawa Energy, and he started his own business called Fit.
Mm.
Okay, it's over there in Yomitan,
Mhm.
and it's Fit Orthopedic Clinic, and not just not sponsor or throwing it
I
out
got
there,
you.
but
Yeah, yeah.
he's the guy
It's
that I see.
called Fit Orthopedic
There you
Clinic.
go. It's in Yomitan.
in Yomitan.
But,
Yeah.
But you know what? Of all things, he opened.
I like how hold on, let's give some love.
Exactly.
So I gave you the name and the business.
The name and the
location.
business
There's
location.
absolutely nothing wrong. Here in Yomitan.
That's awesome.
All right. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So basically, talk about perseverance, brother.
Yes.
He opened his store in the height of the COVID, pandemic that we got. He has little or no customer base.
Wow.
And he has everything riding on this. He's married. He's got 2 young boys. He's got to provide for. Got to put a roof over the head. Food in the mouth. All that kind of stuff. But he believed in himself, in the dream of opening his own clinic and running it all by himself. He is definitely persevering against all odds.
The personification of perseverance.
There you go.
Let's go. What was his name again, Mr. G?
Tatsumu. I always get this wrong. Tatsumune.
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 Fit.
Orthopedic Clinic.
Y'all heard it, right? Yomatan. You heard us, Yomatan. This is Yomatan Radio, 78.6 FM. Yomatan, take care of our community. Big brother, along those lines, too, I just interviewed Will Brooks he does graphic novels.
Oh, okay.
And for Doctor Who. You know how much I love Doctor Who.
Oh, sure.
So all the way from here to Cardiff, we talked to each other. And he told me a story about perseverance before the break. He said to pursue his dreams, he quit his job because it was just, it was driving him crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And he had to kind of take that leap of faith.
Yes.
Right? So first thing, take that leap of faith, he had to get rid of all self-doubt.
Okay.
I love to draw. This is what he said. I love to draw. This is my passion. This is what I want to do full time. No plan.
No plan.
Whatsoever.
Oh, man.
He quit his job.
Oh, boy.
My man went 18 months without being picked up, looked at, thought about. 18 months not getting paid for his passion.
Oh, my goodness.
So he had to rely on family, of course, and he didn't have the same family dynamic as he does now. He was in his early 20s. But he told me, man, when 18 months, and you know what it was? It was by chance, by fate, whatever. We talk about destiny, if you will. But he got that first call. Hey, Will, we need you to create A, B, or C, which led to a conversation of someone else saying, hey, did a great job. Can you come do this? Big brother, so 18-month taking a risk, of course, in believing in himself, persevering. He was, of course, during that window, you're going to doubt yourself.
Oh, of course.
You're going to doubt.
Those always come up.
Was this a good idea?
Second guessing.
78.6 FM, Yomatan, Positive Vibes of Winston. Me and my big brother talking about perseverance. We just covered down on reframing, and then we spoke on, what was the second part, big brother?
The second part was about believing in yourself.
Believing in yourself.
You got to believe in yourself.
Talked about Michael Jordan.
Yes.
So y'all know I got excited about that if you missed it. Play this back on YouTube. And then
we didn't even plan that. I just came up with the story because it was great.
Every time. You can't mention MJ with me in the room.
No.
That's my dude. And then I gave an example. Mr. Tatumi-san?
That's right. Tatumi-san.
Well. Hey, Yomatan, you guys heard us.
That's it.
And then we talked about my buddy Will Brooks, who also to me is another person who personifies perseverance. Yes. And so coming back from the break, big brother, what are we talking about?
Okay, so what we're going to do is actually tell the secret of how people get successful in their perseverance.
He's giving away secrets, y'all.
Secrets,
go.
Yes, indeed.
78.6 FM Yomatan, me and Mr. Garricky, big brother Mr. G, coming back to you right after the break. And we're going to talk about some secrets. Let's go. See you guys in a second. .6 FM Yomatan, Positive Vibes of Winston. I am back with big brother Mr. Scott Garricky. And we're talking about perseverance. Mr. G, you was giving away secrets before the last break.
Secrets, yes,
What's going
indeed.
on?
Yes,
Hold you to it now. I want some secrets. What's happening?
Well, you know, we talked about reframing a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, that's very, very important because we got to frame our failures as learning opportunities.
Right.
You know, and we get stronger from them.
Yep.
The second thing is we got to implement those lessons so that they don't become lessons observed. They're lesson learned.
That's it.
But the third thing that is really, really important, I think, is the key to all of this and your success is asking for help when you need it.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Most people, let's talk about, MJ.
Got you.
He had trainers and coaches.
Yep.
Okay? He had a whole bunch of people helping him out. He was on a team.
He was on a squad.
He's on a squad.
Yep.
Thomas Edison, he had assistants.
Right.
That would help him and do stuff. Tatsumi-san, he's got the bank that he got a loan.
Right.
And he can't do this on his own. So word of mouth is going to get him and bolster his base,
right.
his customer base, right?
Got you.
So nobody can do these great things by themselves.
Got you.
You've got to ask for help. Okay? It's a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness.
Yep.
I believe that you recently said it's not about how you started your life. It's about how you end up.
It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
It's how you finish.
Yes, sir.
That's it. And you also said it's all about making connections.
Yes, sir.
Right? And helping other people.
Right.
So that's the key.
That's it.
That's the real connection.
Yep.
It's connection that's really the essential ingredient in persevering over the difficulties, the hurdles that we have to go against, the strong headwinds that are pushing against us, saying no, you can't do this. The taunting, the labels, the people coming down on you saying you can't do that.
Right.
No, you persist, and you persist against that, and you persevere against that tsunami of taunts and
another thing is people trying to pull you in different directions. So you may have a vision or a goal or a direction you're trying to go in, but then you have those folks who say, no, you should go this way.
Yes.
You might want to try this. Taste this food.
Yes. Try this.
Try this. And what that does is it can easily throw someone off course who is not persistent in their goals and is not motivated enough to stay focused. So ego, I think a lot of times you have someone who's doing what you want to do or who has done what you're trying to achieve. Finding that person, getting your ego out the way to say, hey, man, I'm trying to do what you've done, or I see something in you that's I think can help me grow. A lot of people have their ego in the way where they don't ask for that help, that guidance, that assistance. And so trying to get to that next step, it takes 10 times longer because they didn't reach for that lifeline.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
So we persevere in the pursuit of our dreams, right? We remember what motivates us and drives us so that we can accomplish those dreams. And we can't be fearful. Don't be afraid of failure.
Gotcha.
Okay? Don't be afraid of failure. Reframe it as that learning opportunity, okay? And that way you grow stronger from it. But remember, it's a lesson learned only when you implement it. Otherwise, it's a lesson observed.
That's it.
And then finally, don't be afraid to ask for help. It is not a sign of weakness.
Can I tell my MJ story?
Absolutely.
Yay! So MJ, remember he didn't make it to the championships, the playoffs,
That's
many of those
right.
things for years. And then I remember Phil Jackson said, we need to build a team around you that can work to your strengths and also to your weaknesses. What?
Yes.
I mean, you could dunk, but you're not out there shooting threes. You need to get you somebody like a John Paxson or B.J. Armstrong that can shoot threes for you. You can't get your own Scottie Pippen. You can't score all the points. We need to get you somebody who can score similar, like
That's right.
a Scottie Pippen.
There you go.
You can't get your own rebounds, guys, so let's get you a Horace Grant and a Bill Cartwright in there so we can. And when he put these people and everybody had their roles, and Mike had to get over his ego. Of being the guy. I can do all of this somehow, some way. No, dude, you need to be able to. And this is another one, too, that we didn't cover, but I thought about it.
That was good.
Trust.
Yes.
Man.
Huge.
If he didn't have to trust the folks around him, especially if you're wanting to go to someone for help, assistance, guidance, you have to have trust.
Yes.
And so once he started trusting his teammates, and they say he was a jerk, but they all had a respect and a straight trust for each other, and they all knew each other's roles, and they all had a shared vision to get to a championship. They were unstoppable after that.
That's right.
So in life, if I'm putting all those together, and I like to use MJ stuff for life, but if you're doing those things that you mentioned, Mr. G, changing your perspective, not being afraid, Finding that motivation within yourself, reframing when you feel like you're failing.
Believing
in yourself.
Yes.
When they believed in each other, they were unstoppable.
That's it.
So as a person, when you believe in yourself and you feel in your mind, I have no limits.
That's right.
You're going to show me that I have a limit because I don't feel it.
That's right.
That's when I think, that's it.
That's it.
We're giving away secrets. Hey, we got the fire department outside his door because he burning up the mic over here.
Burning up the mic.
Let's go, Mr. G.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, so we just talked about perseverance. Man, Mr. G, you want to highlight those real quick?
Absolutely. Perseverance. Perseverance is really just standing steadfast when you have it. Perseverance is thoroughly severe, standing against something that has little or no chance of success whatsoever. Okay, that's perseverance. And then we talked a little bit about how we get knocked down sometimes.
Yep.
It's not about how many times we get knocked down. It's how fast we get back up. And what did we learn from it? You got to reframe. You got to recage your failure into an opportunity to learn something.
Nice.
And then implement it to make sure you did it. Finally, again, to persist, we must believe in, or to persevere, we must believe in ourselves.
Yep.
That we can do, that this is something that we can do, that we can accomplish. And then finally, just asking for help.
Let's go.
Ask for that help. You need that help.
I love it. And when you guys are trying to picture, so some folks are visual. Think of all the folks right now who you consider successful. And think of those folks who may have started off in more humble beginnings, like a Tyler Perry, who was homeless. Or I believe, if I'm not mistaken, even Eric Thomas started off as homeless and had to grow his empire from that point. Think of how much they had to be persistent and persevere beyond amidst all the odds they're facing. And think about all the actors and people who, like I said, you may consider successful, who've had to fight and really fight and believe in themselves.
That's right.
To get there.
It's not how you start.
It's how you finish.
Let's go, brother.
Big brother. Let's go. What else we got, Big?
All right. So for our wounded warriors,
yes.
I just was going on to the post there. The Facebook site's awesome.
Yes.
And so I was clicking on that.
78.6 FM Yoma Time, positive vibes of Winston. We're talking about the Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resiliency page. And we dedicate the third segment to them every time.
Yes, we do.
Let's go.
We do.
I'm tracking with you. I forgot to say it, but y'all, we know we love y'all, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So they had a really fascinating little graphic on there that I thought was just great.
Okay.
And it talked a little bit about things that happen to us in our lives. So just like what we're doing, talking about persevering against all odds, against really almost insurmountable difficulties, right? So those things happen to us. Life hits us with all these kind of things. And so 10% of what life is what happens to us. 90% is how we respond
to what happened.
Exactly. Okay. So in our conscious mind, right up in front, we feel what happens to us through our five senses, right? Okay. All those things we perceive are flowing through those five senses that we have. We analyze, we think, we reason, we start plans, we have our short-term memories. All those type of things are in our conscious mind. In our subconscious mind, where 90% of the things happen, we have less control, okay? But that's where those things are formed. Our responses are most of it is from our subconscious mind. Okay. So let's talk about long-term memories. Okay, those experiences that we have, the emotions, the feelings, all of those come from the subconscious. Okay. Habit patterns and addictions, relationship patterns are formed there as well. Also, we have our creativity and our intuition on that side. Spiritual connections are made in that subconscious mind. Okay, so we're only aware of a tiny fraction of the things that happen to us. Right. In our conscious mind. It's the subconscious mind that picks up all those things. Okay? The vast majority of our thinking goes on in that subconscious. Okay. So I was just going to say, do you ever have a random thought that pops up into your head sometime?
99% of the day. Always got random thoughts going on.
I'm telling you, right? Some good, some bad, They pop up all the time.
Yes.
Well, the reason why is because that's your subconscious breaking through into your conscious. You don't have any control over that thought popping into your head, do you?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
And then sometimes you're like, why did I think that?
That's right.
No, come on, Cully. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where those things happen, but it's one of those things that we have to be aware of.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Michael Gladwell in his book Blink,
Mm-hmm.
he talked about that. He talked about his adaptive unconscious. Okay. Our 90% is constantly changing. It can be influenced. Okay. It can be influenced. So the more positive things, the more things that happen that you learn, those get sunk into the subconscious.
Okay.
Okay. And that's how adaptive unconsciousness can happen. Now, it's a set of mental process that affects judgment and decision making.
Okay.
And it's completely out of the conscious mind's abilities to control. Okay. So that's when you look at somebody and you say, something's wrong with them. I don't know what it is, but it's your subconscious picking it up. Michael Gladwell says that there was a statue that Michelangelo had made, and a curator at a museum, he talks about this in his story, a curator at a museum was going to spend $11 million on this statue, and there was just something wrong. There was something not right. He didn't know what it was. The documentation was all right and everything. He didn't know what it was. He said, nope, let's ship it over to Italy and get the real experts to look at it.
Yeah.
They shipped it over at a great cost, and as soon as the crate was opened, the curators from Italy said, "You say you're going to pay $11 million for this thing? Can you get your money back?"
Wow.
Because they knew right away it was a fake.
Okay.
There was subtle differences, and sure enough, it turned out that it was a fake.
Wow.
And it was just like, but the subconscious was the thing that picked up from that curator.
Yep.
Okay.
Something's not right.
Something not right.
I've heard stories about unlocking the subconscious mind.
Yep.
And I've also heard stories about how to nurture and feed the subconscious mind.
Yep.
Right? And the key is to feed it with positive information and reinforce it with what you want to be, what you pull from. So,
those positive habits, those positive thoughts.
Right. So instead of clouding your mind with negativity or negative things and going, like they say, don't chase negative media, chase the media that you want to follow that's going to feed your mind and allow you to at least be intuitive and understanding of what's actually going on versus feeding it to a certain, side, sides. And it allows you to stay balanced, and also circumstances may occur where you have to be balanced.
There you go.
And you're pulling from that. I mean, that's crazy. So
that is.
What's the saying, big brother, that I like to say is, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do next.
There you go.
And I think the Wounded Warriors are a perfect group to speak to this for, man. Their circumstances, things that they stood for and suffer through right now and fight and persist and persevere
They're
through.
persevering every day.
This message, we love you guys, man.
Yes.
We know we canceled the Warrior games with everything going on the last couple of weeks, and you guys have been strong and fighting through everything that you're watching. And if we haven't said it enough, we love you. What you've done matters. Your mission there, your purpose hasn't changed. You made a difference.
Yes.
78.6 FM, Yoma Time, positive vibes of Winston. We're talking about the conscious and subconscious mind. We went deep in that third segment.
We went deep.
You see how he did it? So he burned up the mic. We cooled it off, and then he's making us think before we get off the mic.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? Think deep.
Absolutely.
But look at different ways, and always do the research for yourself. How do you feed your mind?
Yes.
Right? And feed your mind, if you haven't heard anything else from our show over the last couple of weeks, and for me, the last couple of months, Mr. G, a little bit over a year now. It's crazy. Feed your mind with positivity.
Absolutely.
It's going to help you. And the world needs more of it.
Yes.
You're that light that the sun needs, man, to help feed it and feed us positive vibes.
Make the difference.
You are loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. 78.6 FM. See you next week.